Hello and welcome to the second chapter of the podcast Guy Who Likes to Talk. And I'm your host. As promised, I'm back and I'm the guy who likes to talk. And during my introductory podcast, I have said that, we will be discussing interesting topics and everything. And I was not searching for, but I was going through that what should I talk in my second chapter, which I'm going to talk a little more in detail. And then a few days back, we celebrated International Men's Day. And this is also happened to be the month of November, which we mark it as the Movember, the month dedicated towards men's overall health. And then something intrigued me. And then I said, let me see what does it even mean when people speak about men's overall health. And in general, I was looking at some statistic and everything, and I was looking at surveys done in different countries and different societies. And usually I have come across is that 40% of the male population do not seek or speak about their problems. When it comes to their physical problems, health issues, or even their emotional issues, they do not speak till it reaches the point where it's going to be a major issue for them to deal with. And so why so? What's the reason behind it? So it intrigued me. So I went on talking to different people and started taking different opinions of male itself, And I often came across the conditioning what we have been brought up into. But I'll talk about it a little later. But what I saw majority in is that the youth, the younger male, because they are in their prime and all the hormones running in the right direction, they do not talk about the issues or they don't need that much of help because they're looking after themselves very well. They are making sure that their physical fitness is there in this competitive age because they want to look prime, to attract and, gain what is needed to be successful. And then I looked at the another segment as man approaches their middle age. And the interesting but a cliche term appeared to me is something called middle age crisis. Interesting, isn't it? So what does this middle age crisis in man, especially males, mean? So I looked at various data. I spoke to different people, and it's a stigmatized word or a sentence called middle age crisis. It's a two words together. And often any problem after 40 a man hits, everything is covered by that wider blanket called middle age crisis. And some people, funnily, even the males have this idea of middle age crisis where a man appears all of a sudden with a new tattoo or a fast car or a new girlfriend. It's a different topic altogether. But this kind of symptoms are associated with middle age crisis, and we haven't gone deeper into it. And I think we are sitting on a time bomb to explode, because not only it affects men's physical health, but his mental well-being as well. And it's a sad part that, the conditioning as the males are being brought up in this society, and every society I'm talking about, not only this country, other country, everywhere in general, when you look at the wider umbrella of population, man from the boyhood brought up in a very, very fragile kind of mentality. They are being told to grow up. They are being told to toughen up. They are being told to man up. These are. I feel these are the terms are very derogatory towards them. It means they don't have a window to speak about their health. They don't have a window to discuss their issues with anybody. And not only anybody, uh, even among their friends, a guy showing little bit of vulnerability would be laughed at, would be called a wimp, or different names. I don't know if I'll be politically right to call out certain words on this podcast, so I'm going to restrict myself from speaking anything like that. But they have been told to toughen up. Oh, you're a wuss. You can't tolerate this much, and come on, man up, and this will go on. But what does this manning up means? Doesn't he has emotions? Can't he speak about his problems to anybody? And it's an interesting thing is that when I looked at the data as well, 70% of people, 70% of men hide, sweep under the carpet their issues, because the conditioning is that they are being labeled as hunter, gatherer, provider, protector. And yes, right, up to certain extents they are. But they have their soft spots as well. They have the points where they get hurt. And I don't know anybody has thought about it. And this concept of middle-age crisis was introduced in 1960s by a psychiatrist. I forget the name. It's called Elliot Jacques. And he introduced this umbrella, in it was originally meant to be where people in general, now I'm not talking about men only, but population in general, when they reach a certain age, past 40s, when they are settled down in their life, they have reached a certain point of their career or not, or the financial stability or not. But they reassess, they tend to reassess this time. And then they take drastic measures to, get that zeal of life back in them, because they feel quite settled. They feel that life has become slow. They are bored of what they are doing, and they want to look at their excitement back in their life. And that's what really middle-age crisis was supposed to be, where you look at certain elements in your life, you assess them, you contemplate, you retrospect, you introspect yourself, and readjust your goals and what you want out of life. But why do you think that men often feel this crisis more intensely than the better of the species? And why I say that is that because the female health, recently at our work and everywhere, we were being sensitized about menopause issue, and female also go through during this period of time, and their emotional heal and what imbalances and how we can support them, and how we become a support structure, which is a right thing to do. But then I saw that men's health, men also go through these problems called male menopause, which after certain age, their physical vitality starts declining. The hormonal imbalance also happen in them, and there is not much light has been shed on it. And this is what I wanted to talk about today, is that why it has been neglected, why the societal condition is such a way that nobody has paid attention to. We often hear passing remark of a man making a mistake or a blunder, or a small silly mistake, and he'll be laughed at, saying, he's a man, he'll do that. But have we ever tried to understand that he is also trying to cope with all those emotional upheaval is going on in his life? Basically what happens is that when a man goes through this kind of emotional changes, and with the society construct and the conditions imposed on him, his fragile masculinity starts overworking on it. Because at this age, he doesn't want to be looked down upon by, oh, that guy, he can't take pressure, or oh, he can't cope. Laughed by his friends. And friends is, I will say that we male are the major culprit of this fragile masculinity around us, because if our friend come and ask for an help or something, we will laugh at them and say, oh, poor you can't cope with it, oh, you are a wuss. But have we ever paid attention to listen to our friend when they go through this kind of issue? No. And then second thing is that I was looking at the NHS website as well. Then it does talk about help with, it does talk about men's health issues at this age, but there is no actual support provided over there. So I tried to contact our GP services, and surprise, they are not much aware of it. So you see where we stand, and that's why I call it as a time bomb, because it will explode. It will explode one day, and you will see. And it is such a sad thing that if you look at statistic again, is that the suicide ratio in man at this age is much higher, because they're trapped. They are emotionally trapped. They can't talk about it, and because of that fragility of their character is made in such a way that they do not, even if they want to talk about it, they don't gather courage to talk about it. And this is the area I wanted to put an emphasis on, is that, friends, the life is not ending there. Now with this modern this modern day and age, although I have given you very glimmer picture of, but not many people are aware of it. Can we make a male pact together and listen to each other? Listen to each other's problem. Make a support chain for each other. And that doesn't mean that we are going to make a lobby for, male chauvinist right or anything like that. But an helping network, if we can make of. If we can make the present medical institution and the health services aware of these issues, if we can raise it, make it heard, and maybe we will avoid few of the mishaps happen, families getting shattered, personalities broken down, and lot many issues. And not only that way, but the health issues, because all these things are happening, those hormonal changes make such an havoc in men's body as well, is that they go through lot many issues with the pressure of performing, providing, hunter gatherer again, that prime species and survival of the fittest, and all this namby pamby theories built around male's fragile ego, and which is which is making this issue more complex. So why and then I'm going to talk about some hidden signs and symptoms also. So hidden signs. What are the hidden signs of this male's health? And the first is that they develop usually they develop weaker muscle mass, in the sense that their physical strength declines. With the decline of physical strength, tiredness, fatigue, fogging up, fogging up of memory happens, and then lot more other issues come with that. So, men feel empty during this time, because there is a lack of purpose. Emotions are high, they become irritable. Sometimes they just lose it, but they can't cry, because crying is not manly. So all those issues, and they avoid go to seek help because they don't want to know the problem. They do not want to know that they do not want to recognize that they have an issue with their health or they are facing an issue. And this is a major sign which we need to look at it and work on it. That is where we need to help ourselves and understand what's going on. And then there is also stigma, as I have said before, is that either it's brushed off or just man up. And that is the word constantly has been told to them, and that is not right. That's what I feel, that has to be looked at it. So what are the what are the solution? What is the solution? What are the solution? What we can do together is, first I said, is that speak up. We can navigate around these issues very well. First of all is speak up. Put your foot down. See your health consultant. See your doctors. See your GP. Speak to them about it. If they say, nah, nothing, if they try to brush it off, put your foot down and say, no, I need help. Ask for it. Demand it. It's your right to have that help. Demand that help is needed. Second thing is to reassess yourself. Sit down. Talk to your partners. They will understand you very well. Hopefully, yes, they will understand you very well. Speak to them about what you're facing. Be open about it. There is nothing wrong in being vulnerable. There is nothing wrong of showing that you need help, because if you don't ask help on time, things will turn in such an it will have such an irreversible impact on your life that there will be point of no return. So before you reach that, speak out, talk out, follow some healthy regimes. Make sure that you make significant changes in your diet. Make a healthy choice. Start going to gym or start exercising at home. There are a lot of things you can do. Make your mind pleasant. Pick up a hobby which is nurturing, hobby which is making your mind pleasant, and work on it. Let's start working on it. As I said, if this podcast has reached you somehow and it has touched that little string of your heart and you thought yes, or it has put you in thinking that yes, even I am facing this, speak up. Speak to your friends, speak to your family. If they laugh at it, just tell them that you are seriously talking to them. And then they will understand. We men are not that insensitive as we are made out to be. We can be great friends and we are good listeners as well, provided that we are ready to open up and ready to speak out what we face. And I hope this starts somewhere. Somewhere we can start a solidarity kind of a movement for men together to look after their well-being, look after their holistic well-being. So overall well-being I'm talking about, physical, mental, emotional, and make this society healthy, because this crisis, if it is not addressed on time, I think it's going to be a major issue going forward. So put your thinking cap on or not. Just look for the signs around you, maybe in your friends, in your partners, somebody, your colleague. If you can see this sign, reach out to them, ask them, how can you be of help? Be a good listener. Make and support network for yourself and your friends. And let's make little change the way men's health is perceived, and let's make little change towards how we look after ourselves, and let's begin with sensitizing others of this issue. I hope I have been clear. I know it has been a very long monologue I have spoken, but I felt that this topic needs to be touched. Thank you for being patient with me. We'll meet again. Good night or good day wherever you are, or good afternoon. Thank you for listening to a guy who likes to talk.